I decided that instead of sitting in there on a stupid computer fiddle fucking around, I would come out here and throw together a quick TallBike, so that I replace one of the 5 that we sold last week, and have some more to sell. So anyways, we got a collection of parts here. There's a nice cruiser bike front end, and for the other one, a nice 20 some odd inch BMXer. Well, I changed to a back wheel, smaller back wheel, big wheel. And there's a set of handlebars all ready to go. I took that off an old one that didn't work. So we're going to set the frame up on the stand with the bungee cords and get her just where we want it for the seat position, and then take this and marry it up to it, and then of course install that at the appropriate angle. Okay, I put the bicycle up, strapped it up about where I want it. You got to leave room between the crank and the axle, and that's where the seat goes. The seat has to be behind this, but in front of that. So, and also you measure, for myself, I'm 5'10". It takes me 25 inches from the crank center to the top of the seat is 25 inches. On this one, that puts it right there. That puts the seat right there, and I'm going to put it right about there. So that means I'm going to modify the frame a little bit, you know, do some fiddling around, metal work, excuse me, and that's that. Now the front end is down there. Now I'm going to work on that next. Okay, before you can set the front end up, you got to make your wheelbase. And I went out and measured a whole bunch of bicycles, their wheelbases, and they give or take around 42, 43, 44 inches. So we marked this where it is. That's the, I chose 43 inches. And then run over here, mark it. That is the spot where your axle goes right over that spot, giving you the correct wheelbase. And that makes handling much better. Alright, I just got it leaned up there. It's actually looking pretty good. The it winds up being a couple inches extra wheelbase, but the angle of the front end looks really nice, and the name on there, Jaguar, is level, and I'm pretty sure this is how the bike sits, you know, when it's all together, one real bike, you know, where it came from. So now I got to work on making this attachment here, and you know, I'm going to put something there to beef all that up and make the connection and shit, you know, that stuff, man. Okay. And I cut the old head off, and I've made my seat mount with some parts. That's going to be dropped down in there, and it'll be able to adjust below, you know, for a shorter than me person, and also for a taller than me person. And we're going to bend this back piece here into position, and that'll be the gusset. At this point, though, because the stand is in the way, we're going to take it off and put the kickstand on so we can work on it otherwise. And then at the same time, I can do that bottom stuff too. It's welded solid enough to stay together, so on to the next thing. Alright, I have determined that a simple tab right across those 2 points with a hole in it will be just exactly in the right spot to mount the kickstand. So that's what I'm going to do. Go find a tab, weld that sucker in. Okay, a quick search through the tabs bucket. It brings me this piece already pre-drilled, ready to go. Came from somewhere. Anyways, put them all together, and we're going to weld her up and have the kickstand finished. Alright, 5 more minutes and the seat post is in. Now I'm going to cut this down here, shorten it up, and bring it down to be, you know, to triangulate that. Look real cool. Okay, 5 more minutes. A little cut here, a little bit of cut and shape there, bam, welded in, done. On to the next part, which will be, the under brace. We're going to go from here, we're going to go from here up to what used to be the kickstand mount, and thereby triangulate this lower part right into the frame, and it'll look nice. Alright, a couple of minutes, a little cutting, and banged a flat spot there so I could weld up against that, and trimmed this to fit, and welded her up into that thing on both sides. So we have a nice frame looking piece, and that's going to do a real good job of stabilizing things. Okay, so I had to change front ends because that other front end was messed up. That's why that bike was a junk bike, because the front end was messed up. So got that front end and pulled this handlebars, and essentially the bike is done. What's left is I'm going to move the handlebars up, you know, quite a bit up, get them a little ways from the seat, and then hook everything up, hook the brakes up and the shifters up, and you know, decorate it, and we're done. So there you go. I had a seat neck that had a big dent in it, so, and it was just the right length to fill in this space here and connect this part of the frame, this frame to this, so it'll be welded up and bent, curved around there, and welded up there, and making this whole framework really nice and strong. You know, it goes all the way up, straight up there, and it goes all the way back down like that. Just really, really nice. So, ought to be good and strong. Good for the playa. And so basically, there you have about a 10-minute bike build. If you got some parts, just whack them up, put them together, you know, weld them up a little bit, bada bing, bada boom, you're all done. Piece of cake, okay?